Elon Musk has been very vocal about his desire to send humans to Mars aboard his Starship, the SpaceX Falcon Heavy. On the other hand, Russia has made it clear that they intend to be the first to arrive with their spaceship, which will be powered by nuclear energy. No one knows precisely why Russia has begun to publicize its efforts to establish a base on the Moon or send humans to Mars in recent years. But it is a good guess. Before we begin, welcome to Tech Unity, where I will share the latest scientific developments happening around us. Please subscribe to this channel and remember to click on the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I release a new video. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or concerns, leave some comments below. An American company such as SpaceX that is designing and preparing impressive rockets may have brought back memories of the space race for Russians. There may also be a financial motivation, as having the technology to send a crew to Mars would be impressive and attract a large amount of monetary support from other countries and organizations. Russians are still bitter about the Soviet Union's failure to reach the Moon before Americans. Having a private American company achieve Mars first would be another metaphorical fist to the country's national pride. Whatever the reason, Russia is determined to reach Mars and intend to do so by employing a cutting-edge technology that has never been seen before to power its rockets. They want to use nuclear fuel in their future rockets. SpaceX rockets do not rely on nuclear power for propulsion. None of the current rockets can do so. The fuel used by SpaceX rockets is methane with a small amount of oxygen added to it. Many rockets before SpaceX used either kerosene or kerosene blend, and SpaceX used kerosene until the development of methane rockets in 2007. In the past, some spaceships have used hydrogen as a fuel. Methane rockets have proven to be reliable for SpaceX, and they appear to be the most promising fuel option for the company's future space missions. It has also proven useful because it can be used to refuel spaceships while in orbit. To reach any destination in the solar system, such as the Moon or Mars, approximately half the energy is used just to get out of the orbit of the Earth. According to Elon Musk, a SpaceX Starship can theoretically travel anywhere in the solar system if its fuel can be replenished while it's in orbit. What would be the point of a Russian spaceship using nuclear power in that case? Well, Russia has claimed that nuclear rockets have been in development since 2009, and they are capable of operating at such speeds that they could transport humans to Mars in a matter of weeks rather than months. The concept is to avoid using carbon-based fuel, which results in a rocket that is both faster and cleaner. Since the 1950s, nuclear rockets have been floated, with the rationale being in the massive amount of energy generated by a nuclear fusion could be put to beneficial use, such as launching a rocket at incredible speeds. Designs and theories for nuclear thermal rockets have been developed, but no actual rockets have been built to test them. Rockets armed with thermonuclear power are now mass-produced in the thousands, and they served as the primary focal point of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. According to some estimates, many intercontinental rockets were built with nuclear payloads that were capable of annihilating life on Earth 100 times over. However, those were nuclear payloads, not rockets that were themselves powered by nuclear energy in a manner that did not have a specific goal of destroying the Earth in mind. While nuclear-powered rockets have always been associated with Russia, the resurgence of interest in them has a distinct everything old is new again feel. If Russia could successfully implement such a system, that would be pretty impressive. It is fair to say that nuclear energy has had a shaky track record. While nuclear power has been promoted as a clean and safe energy source, it is arguably one of the most dangerous sources available. For example, if an oil rig explodes, the ocean will be polluted for years. However, if a nuclear plant experiences a problem, it will be centuries before the area is safe to repopulate with people. Again, one only needs to look at well-known disasters such as Chernobyl power plant in Russia. What happened in Japan's Fukushima nuclear power plant is living proof of the dangers that nuclear energy can pose to the environment. Consider the launch of a nuclear-powered rocket from the planet's surface and what would happen if something went wrong. When a SpaceX rocket crashes, it leaves a trail of debris in its wake. If a nuclear rocket exploded and shattered into pieces, the area around the accident site and for miles or kilometers would become completely uninhabitable. Also, consider the possibility that a nuclear-powered rocket is successfully launched but then encounters a problem that causes it to plummet from the sky before reaching orbit and crashing into another part of the planet. The entire Earth would be at risk of having a nuclear crater left behind due to a nuclear accident like this. After all, a nuclear-powered rocket malfunctioning and exploding into New York City would be a tragedy of unimaginable proportions. A nuclear-powered rocket that works could be incredible, but a nuclear-powered rocket that fails is terrifying to contemplate. So how much of what Russia has said is accurate? And how much is a deliberate exaggeration intended to put Elon Musk and SpaceX on the defensive? The country has talked extensively about its plans to build incredible nuclear-powered rockets, but it has yet to demonstrate anything more than inflated claims. In some old theories or mock-ups, it was mentioned, although a nuclear-powered rocket is unavoidably impractical due to the large number of health and safety risks associated with it, it is certainly not feasible. All of this is because even if it is possible to engineer, Russia has not indicated that such a process is underway. They have essentially talked the talk without walking the walk. This is not to say that Russia's space program has fallen short. Russia has continued to use standard rockets to launch cosmonauts into orbit and carry out missions on the International Space Station for more than a quarter century. An actual nuclear-powered rocket has only been discussed, with no concrete plans to build one ever announced. Russia has the potential to develop a nuclear-powered rocket if it puts forth the necessary effort. From the discussion of risks, it's clear that it's something that probably shouldn't be attempted due to the inherent dangers of nuclear power plants, let alone in a rocket that could crash anywhere on the planet. One topic that merits discussion is whether or not SpaceX should consider developing nuclear-powered rockets. Yes, we have spent a significant amount of time discussing how much of their theoretical utilization is and how they could pose significant safety risks to people. Although it is unlikely that a nuclear-powered rocket will be successfully launched into space, if it is done safely and adequately, it could provide significant benefits in terms of the sheer speed in transporting people and cargo to far-off destinations such as Mars. It's probably not in SpaceX's best interest to spend time researching nuclear rockets, as the company has already achieved success in the development and use of methane rockets, which have the added benefit of being able to be refueled in orbit and thus be used for longer journeys than conventional rockets. Yes, methane rockets will result in more extended trips to Mars than are currently possible. However, there is significantly less health and safety risks associated with using these rockets than if SpaceX attempted to develop their nuclear-powered rocket. A nuclear-powered rocket that worked flawlessly without a hitch would be remarkable. The risks and variables involved are so numerous that developing rockets as a theory is preferable to Russia continuing its efforts to create nuclear-powered rockets, or SpaceX commencing any development of them. After all, Russia can use methane rockets in other efforts to reach Mars, just as SpaceX is doing, and still be a formidable competitor without having to rely on potentially hazardous nuclear-powered rockets. Russia is intending to beat SpaceX to Mars with its own one-of-a-kind spaceship that will run on nuclear energy rather than rockets. We've talked about how this is a vastly different technology from the rockets that are currently in use. Moreover, while it would be incredible in theory, it would be hazardous in practice, posing so many risks that it is doubtful that Russia would proceed with the project. To put it bluntly, nuclear technology is simply too dangerous. And there are numerous examples of real-world locations that have been forced to close due to nuclear-related accidents to demonstrate this. However, while Russia may wish to reach Mars before Musk or SpaceX, using nuclear-powered rockets to do so appears to be both extremely difficult and dangerous. It will be interesting to see whether Russia's bluster is realized or if they proceed with their plans to build nuclear-powered rockets soon. In the meantime, SpaceX and Musk will be hard at work using their current rocket technology to develop the most advanced rockets possible for Starship propulsion systems. Leave a comment below and tell us what you think of Russia's plans to use nuclear technology in rockets. Thanks for watching Tech Unity.